Yeah, what up, world? On here chopping it up. About to go get me some breakfast. Thinking about going to Bojangles. Bojangles got some good breakfast. Like they food is like super mid, but the breakfast is pretty good. Man, I just keep hearing people say, always talking about the hood and how they from the hood, so they was forced to be a criminal and they had to do hood shit to survive, and that's just lies, bro. You know what I'm saying? That just ain't real, bro. And then they try to make it seem like the suburb, the people from the suburb, they just putting on an act when they try to be in the streets and all this type of stuff. But here's what I learned about being in the street. Being in the streets don't have no uh like location on it like that. Like it's not necessarily about where you from and all that type of shit. And I'm not glorifying any of this shit. I think it's all bullshit at this point. But what I'm saying is that's that's like deception, you know. That's them trying to deceive you. And people from the hood that was like born in the hood, they trying to deceive you into making you think that they some super tough guy or something. You know what I'm saying? When it's just not the case. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gangster shit go on in every neighborhood pretty much. Whether it be a poor neighborhood or a rich neighborhood or a mid neighborhood, people doing drugs and fucking with prostitutes and all that in all those different hoods, no matter if it's a rich hood, poor hood, mid hood, none of that. And I can literally say this from experience because I've been raised in the suburbs and in the hood. So I can literally tell you the difference between the two, and there is none. You know what I'm saying? The people in the suburbs, they struggling to pay their rent and shit, just like the people in the hood struggling to pay their rent and all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, as a matter of fact, if I'm gonna be honest about the shit, if I'm gonna be really honest about the shit, I done seen way more people that's having money and having it their way in the hood than the people that's in the suburbs. Let me break that down to you. Because the people in the suburbs have more expensive bills and all that. They have more. They rents higher. They car note is higher. They trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's higher. So they end up in a situation where they end up having to spend more money just to live a average life in the suburbs. You know, versus somebody that's in the hood that might be living below their means, might be making you know a decent amount of money, but they ain't got as much rent. They ain't got as much this, as much that, because they're not trying to keep up with the Joneses and all that. So that whole, I'm from the hood, so I had to survive. I had to sell drugs to survive. That's all a lie, bro. That's all some hood finesse. That's them trying to finesse you into thinking that they journey was harder than yours or something. You know what I'm saying? It's not true, bro. If that was true, everybody that lives in the hood or that was raised in the hood would be in the streets. Majority of the people that live in the hood are not in the streets. Majority of people live in the hood got jobs like everybody else, got careers and jobs like everybody else. So that whole, hood, I'm a hood cat, and that's why I'm, more gangster, or I'm more tougher, and all that's just finesse, bro. That's all the hood person trying to finesse you into thinking that you should be intimidated by them or something. That's all that's ever been. The hood has never been worse than the suburbs. All the same drugs that circulate around in the hood are the same drugs that circulate around in the suburbs. Somebody gotta sell them the drugs. The hood, the hood cat is not necessarily in the suburbs selling drugs. You see what I'm saying? It's the suburb cats that's in the suburbs selling drugs. So it's all the same stuff going on. It don't matter where you at. You can be living in fucking Beverly Hills. In Beverly Hills, there's some Beverly Hill gangsters that sell the Beverly Hill people the drugs. You see what I'm saying? In the hood, in Third Ward, in Houston, there's people from Third Ward that sell the people in Third Ward the drugs. You see what I'm saying? It's not a thing. That's how I be knowing these niggas is phony. Because the real streets don't operate on where you from and all this type of shit. That's all a facade. You know, that doesn't matter at all in any street situation, any street transaction. It never matters where you from. Whether you from the suburbs, whether you from the super duper hood, none of that matters. If I if I got pounds for sale, let's say I got pounds for sale. I'm selling the pounds for $1,000 a pop. That doesn't change when I go sell them to somebody in the suburbs. It's still $1,000 a pop. They still got to come up with the same $1,000 as the person in the hood. They got to come up with the same $1,000 to get the pound from me. Nothing changes. You know what I'm saying? And then if you poor, if you in the hood and you claiming that you a street cat and you claiming that you in the hood so you had to survive and all that, that mean you ain't no real street cat. Cause if you a real street cat, you shouldn't be poor that long, goofy. You should only be poor for the first couple flips or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Then you not poor no more. So all that suburb versus the hood cats are just so much more gangster and all that. That's groupie talk. That's not real street talk. That's not real street niggas don't give a fuck about none of that. That don't have nothing to do with nothing. And you didn't have to be in the streets to survive. That's a lie. You could have got a job at McDonald's like the other motherfucker that live in the hood. They got a job at McDonald's. The kid that's in the suburbs, his mama and them, they don't make that much more money than your mama and them. You live in the hood. She probably the mama that live in the suburbs probably actually got less money because she's having to pay higher rent. She probably work at the same factory as the hood mama, but she paying more rent. So she got less money than the hood mama. The hood mama is paying less rent but work at the same place as the suburb mama. They work at the same place. You see what I'm saying? It's never been a thing. That's always been a facade that the hood, the cats in the hood is just living this super downtrodden life where they just gotta go hit the block and just to survive that day, to even be able to eat, they gotta go hit the block and come up with that's just not true, bro. That's false. I done lived in the hood. I done lived in the suburbs. I done had money. I done been at all the different levels. And it's not true. It's fake. It's a false facade, fake picture of the hood that they're trying to uh, paint to y'all. Like they just downtrodden and they can't even get a pack of noodles to eat, so they gotta get on the block and sell crack. That's fake. That's not real, bro. That's a lie. The majority of the people that live in the hood got jobs. If you go to the hood right now and do a survey and go to each door in the hood, the majority of the people in the hood gonna have some type of job that they go to every day. They not downtrodden like that to where they just, oh, I was just out there so bad I had to sell crack. It was nothing else I could have done. I couldn't go work at the fucking Wendy's. I couldn't go work at the Waterburger. I couldn't work at Walmart. I couldn't work in the warehouse everybody else was doing. I couldn't go to Amazon and work at Amazon. I couldn't do none of that. I had to sell fucking drugs. That's a lie, bro. Y'all lying, bro. Y'all lying to these squares because y'all know they're gonna believe you because you know they're a bunch of groupies and all that, and they just believe whatever the fuck is said on here. If it's coming from if they think the nigga is a reputable street cat, they gonna believe whatever he say about the street shit. So I'm here to debunk 98% of the shit these niggas talking about. One of the things is for sure, there's really no difference between a suburb kid and a hood kid. There's really no difference. The suburb kid ain't got no money either. Why the fuck you think he want to hit the block? He ain't got no money. Cause his mom and them put him in a better neighborhood. You think he got money now? You know what I'm saying? That don't mean he got money. His mom and them, like I was just saying, his mom and them probably got less money because she paying more rent and they work in the same place the other mama work at. You see what I'm saying? That's how it really would go. The suburb mamas and all that, they don't be on like that. They be done moved over there because they just don't want their kids around a bunch of ghetto shit. But they paying more rent. They living above their means. They're not in the hood just having hope. I mean, they're not in the suburbs just having a whole bunch of money like that, to where they can just get their kids all kind of money and they just, they sporting. They got all the different sets of Jordans and they got all the different new clothes. That's not really happening like that, bro. Everybody is damn near broke. It's way in this country, damn near everybody is poor. It's a lot of people that have a little money to survive, but they not that much. They not that far ahead of the people in the hood. That's just not real. That's what a lot of people in the hood. It's like their excuse. Oh, I'm from the hood, so I had to do this, and I had it's an excuse that people use. It's not really like a real thing for real. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not they not more gangster because they from the hood either. I know a bunch of niggas from the suburbs. What's happening, Alicia? I know a bunch of people that's from the suburbs that's gangster than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Bust your motherfucking head to the white meat. Straight up, it's a bunch of kids that's from the suburbs that don't have shit either. They trying to get shit just like the kid from the hood. They ain't just because they mama got a decent job and then she done moved them to a decent neighborhood. That don't mean that they having things, bro. They still want the same shit the hood kid want. They still want nice shoes. They still want they mama trying to buy them the little $50, $60 shoes. They want the $120, the $150, $200 shoes. You see what I'm saying? It's no different. It's really I done lived in both situations. Is why I'm telling you. I done been in the hood. I've been living in the hood before. I done been living in the suburb area before. It's really no difference. Everybody's still just struggling to try to make it. The people in the suburbs just struggling at a higher level. They just struggling to where they paying more rent. They not they not living like that to where they can just have anything they want anytime they want to have it. They can just go buy a boat when they want to buy a boat. They can just they ain't like that. They trying to put their tools and fuse together just like the motherfucker in the hood trying to put their tools and fuse together. It's the same shit. Everybody fucking struggling. You got rich people out here that's struggling. You got rich people out here that's struggling, bro. They on paper they live rich. You look at it on paper, they rich, but they done accumulated so much shit. They responsible for so many different bills and this and that. They responsible for so much shit to where they rich, but they not really rich. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the fluid, or what do they call it? They don't have the liquid. They don't have the liquid cash. I said fluid. They don't have the liquid cash like that, bro. Where they can just buy shit. They shit is caught up in the bills, properties, businesses, this, that. They don't have no money either. So they kids end up running the streets and shit too. They trying to make some money. They trying to get the new J's. They trying to get the new car. They want to get the new this. Don't none of that shit just a thing with the hood cats. That's a facade. That's fake. That's what all the hood cats try to say because they want to try to paint themselves as being some type of, you know, thing above the suburb kids. I'm like they just better than oh we from the hood. We y'all from the suburbs. Why y'all want to be in the streets? I don't understand. It's the same reason why the nigga from the hood want to be in the street. It's a ego thing. It's a money thing. It's the same shit. It's no difference. There's no difference between the hood kid and the suburb kid. There's really no difference, except for all the different finesses and facades that the hood cats try to paint about themselves. And it's not even real. It's fake. I'm. They would consider me a suburb, like the people from the super duper hood and all that. They would consider me a suburb kid. But these niggas wasn't fucking with me in the streets. Not even a little bit. You know what I'm saying? These niggas that's claiming they from the hoods. When I was in the streets, all the niggas around me that was claiming they were from the hood, they super gangster, they this, that, and the third. They was not fucking with me on no level in the streets, not whatsoever, not even a little bit. They wasn't even. I was driving bigger, faster, better cars, bigger, better rims. My house was bigger, my dick bigger, my pocket was bigger. I had more bitches, everything. So no nigga from the hood was fucking with me on no level whatsoever. Please show them to me. You know what I'm saying? Not even a little bit, bro. So I never understood that whole, I'm from the hood, so my gangster is more gangster than yours. That never made sense to me because I never seen it. All the niggas that I knew that was from the hood, they wasn't fucking with me. And they considered me a suburb kid because I was from Arlington. So they considered me as a suburb kid, but they was from the hoods. South Dallas, Funky, Fort Worth, Funky Town. So, they from all these super duper hoods, but none of them was fucking with me in the streets. You see what I'm saying? So I I'm just saying from a a realistic standpoint, reality, that just ain't real. None of them had diamonds in their teeth. None of them had 4, 5 cars, a house, 2, 3 apartments, pocket full of money. None of them was doing it like that. But they was claiming that they was just super gangster and super hood and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I never put, so I was never able to put no, like, really stand behind. I never, that never made no sense to me, personally. Is that how niggas is super hood cause they from the hood? I mean super gangster cause they from the hood or whatever. That just never made sense to me. To me, that don't have nothing to do with where you from. It has something to do with how you moving and where you at. It don't have nothing to do with where you from. That's a facade. That's not a real thing. You know what I'm saying? That's not real life. You're only gonna hear the hood cats saying that. The people that's from the hood, you're only gonna hear them saying that. That, oh, you niggas is from the suburbs. I don't know why y'all was even trying to be in the streets. You niggas is from the suburbs. Uh, y'all ain't real gangsters. Y'all just acting. So basically what y'all saying is you have to be poor and downtrodden to be a real gangster. That doesn't make sense, bro. You know what I'm saying? The mob and all that, the real gangsters that started the gangster shit, they wasn't no poor. They wasn't poor. They didn't celebrate being poor and downtrodden and all that. They would get money. They had multiple businesses, multiple brothels and clubs and gambling shacks. They was getting money. They didn't stand on the fact that being poor was gangster. That ain't never been real. That's fake in the streets. The real gangsters ain't poor in the streets. That's the facade niggas. That's the niggas who they really faking. They really just like some what do you call it? Groupies. They street groupies. If you poor in the street, if you in the streets and you poor, you are not a real gangster, bro. A gangster gonna get some money out of the streets. They're not gonna be poor. They might be poor at first, you know what I'm saying? But then they gonna get a bag. Then they not gonna be poor no more. So all you niggas that be talking about saluting being poor and all that and just standing on the fact that how poor you was and that's why you had to be a gangster and all that. That's a lie, bro. I'm calling you out. You lying. That's a lie. There's plenty of uh, uh, gangsters that's from the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of gangsters that's from the hood. That don't have nothing to do with it. That's irrelevant when it comes to the gangster shit. The gangster shit is selling drugs, pimping hoes, robbing, taking hits. That's the gangster shit. Don't have nothing to do with how poor you was before you started. Or if you was from the suburbs or from the hood or wherever the fuck you was from. That's irrelevant, bro. And I'm not saying none of this to honor the gangster shit. I think it's all goofy. But I just get tired of hearing these fake gangsters, hood niggas and shit act like they just so much more gangsters in the suburbs and all That's not real, bro. It just ain't real. It's fake. It's a facade. It's just like the trans. It's like being a trans gangster. You know what I'm saying? You niggas wasn't fucking with me in the streets, bro. Straight up. I'm just being honest. You pick a nigga. Pick you a nigga. As long as it ain't El Chapo or somebody, they wasn't fucking with me in the streets, bro. I'm from the suburbs. You pick a hood nigga. Pick a hood nigga. And pick a hood nigga that was fucking with me in the streets. And then I'll concede to this point. I ain't never met one. I've never met a hood nigga that was fucking with me in the streets, bro. I'm from the suburb. I'm from Arlington, Texas. I never met a hood nigga from any hood in Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, nowhere that was fucking with me when I was in the streets, bro. And I'm from the suburbs. So to me, that just never made no sense. I get maybe just from my perspective because it was never a nigga fucking with me in the street. Maybe that's why I feel that way because it's my life experience didn't show that. You know what I'm saying? But that's my perspective on that. That's just fake, bro. That whole suburb versus the hood, it's fake, bro. It ain't real. You know, I was raised in the hood too. I was raised in the hood and in the hoods of Houston. I was raised in the hood, First Ward, Houston is my hood. If we're gonna talk hood shit, First Ward, Houston is my hood. It's just as hood as any other motherfucking hood on the planet. And I don't, when I was in the suburbs, I was getting way more money out of my gangster shit. When I was living in the suburbs and all that. When I was living in the hood, niggas was broke, hating and shit. It be a bunch of hating ass, dick in the booty ass niggas. In the suburbs, it be less hating because a lot of those kids already be having a little something. So they don't necessarily be hating on the next nigga. That's probably the only difference from the hood and the suburb. Is the niggas in the hood just be hating more. Be more hating ass niggas in the hood. Because they just some haters. I don't know why they be thinking like that. They just be on some hating ass shit. It be way more hating ass niggas in the hood than it do in the suburbs. That's the only difference, really. Other than that, it's no difference. A hood nigga can get his ass whooped by a suburb nigga just like that. A hood nigga could get less money than it ain't no difference. A suburb nigga could be about them burners just like a nigga in the hood. It's no difference, bro. It's not a facade. They keep saying like the cats from the suburb, they putting on some type of act or something because they weren't poor. That's stupid, bro. That don't even make no sense. That don't even logically make sense. Cause a nigga is from another area, that means he can't tow guns, he can't fucking that just don't make sense, bro. So now I'm here to debunk the hood cat has to be a gangster thing. That's fake. It's a gang of niggas in the hood that got jobs, got careers, got more money than the niggas in the suburbs. It's people in the hood that's got way more money than the people in the suburbs. I don't know what hood y'all from. The hoods I done lived in, it be people in the hood got money. Be building houses from scratch and shit, building onto their house. Be owning the corner store, owning different businesses and all that. They live in the hood. So that's just not for real. That's fake. That's a fake message. That whole the hood nigga is just that much more gangster than the suburb nigga. That's fake. That ain't no real thing, bro. That's the hood niggas trying to put themselves above other niggas and all that. But it ain't real. It's fake. You know what I'm saying? You can go right now to the suburbs and find some gangsters that's getting more money and then go to the hood and find some gangsters. And the niggas in the suburbs probably be getting more money than them. Probably got more guns, more hoes, everything. You know what I'm saying? So it don't, nah, bro. Uh-uh. You niggas in the hood ain't better than no nigga in the suburb. You ain't more gangster, none of that. That's all fake facade talk. That's hood nigga talk. That's the hood niggas be saying that. Cause that's just them trying to finesse you into making you think that, you know, they a better breed of person or something. They more gangster, they more dangerous, they more this. Nah, nigga. The nigga from the suburbs, his gun bang out just like the nigga from the hood gun bang out. You ain't even gotta be no gangster for your gun to bang out. You could be a civilian, your gun to bang out. You know what I'm saying? So quit listening to these hood niggas try to make y'all think that they some type of superhero or something. They more hood, more gangster than you and all that. Quit that. Y'all quit falling for that. I'm here to tell you, it's a facade, bro. Ain't nobody harder than nobody. I mean, yeah, I ain't gonna say that. This nigga is harder than other niggas, but I'm saying it don't have nothing to do with where you from. It's people that's rich that'll whoop your ass that ain't never even been to the hood before. But they fucking know Tai Chi. They been training to fight their whole life. They'll whoop the dog shit out you. They're not even from the hood or from the suburb. They live in a mansion. They parents put them into fucking kung fu and tai chi and shit when they was a kid. They been training on UFC their whole life since they was a kid. They'll whoop the dog shit out you. You could be from the most gangster hood, you super hood. Get into it, this rich nigga. He been getting taught taekwondo his whole life. He gonna beat the brakes off your hood ass. You see what I'm saying? So that ain't got nothing to do with where you from. None of that. It only has something to do with your level of fighting. You know what I'm saying? You you can be from fucking uh, 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 Idaho or wherever y'all think is weak. Be from there or whatever, and just been training to fight your whole goddamn life. You could be a country dude from the country that you ain't never even been to no hood. You down there live in the woods half ass. But you tough in the motherfucker. You been cutting logs all your goddamn life. Picking up big heavy shit, doing man shit your whole goddamn life. So you tough and all. They don't got nothing to do with the hood. That's fake. It's the niggas from the hood be trying to talk y'all in. It's like an intimidation thing. They trying to talk y'all and think you should be intimidated by them cause they family was poor. You know what I'm saying? That's the stupidest shit ever, bro. If you fall for it, you a goofy. Don't fall for that. These niggas ain't no tougher than the next nigga. Anybody can be tough with a gun. That doesn't change. That's anybody. It don't matter where you from. You see what I'm saying? So nah, man, y'all need to cut it out, bro. With that whole I'm from the hood bullshit, nigga. The hood is a bunch of weenies and punks in the hood too. Just like in the suburbs, some punks and weenies in the suburbs. Just like in the hood, it's some punks and weenies. Just like in the hood, it's some gangsters and some real niggas. Just like in the suburbs, there's some gangsters and some real niggas. That's just how life go, bro. It ain't about know where you from. In Africa, in the tribe, in the village, there's some gangsters and some weenies. In suburbs, some gangsters and some weenies. In the hood, it's some gangsters and some weenies. On the beach, some gangsters and some weenies. In the colder environments, there's some gangsters and some weenies. That's just how it is in life, bro. It don't have nothing to do with where you from. That's why I never understand when niggas be, oh, nigga, I'm from woo 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 woo. And so what? Niggas from there don't bleed or something? I never understood why niggas always be so sprung on where they from. Oh, nigga, I'm from whoop de whoop, whoop de whoop. Nigga, we don't get down like that. Nah, it is some niggas where you from that get down like that. You know what I'm saying? It's some niggas where you from that's some whole ass niggas. It's some niggas where it's some niggas where on the other side of town there's some real niggas and some hoe ass. That's just how it is, bro. It's real niggas and hoe ass niggas everywhere. It don't matter what hood, what block, what state, what city, what country, what continent. It's some real people and some fake people everywhere. So all you hood niggas quit lying to the rest of the world trying to make them think y'all some special category or something, nigga. You only was in the hood because your mama and your daddy was poor, nigga. Or maybe not. Maybe they was having money and just chose to continue living in the hood. That's what they was used to. Cause it's a gang of people that's in the hood that ain't poor. It's people in the hood that ain't poor. I be doing these UPS deliveries and all that. I be in these neighborhoods. I be pulling up to something. And I be in the hood sometimes doing deliveries. Some of them people be having money. They don't be in the hood poor. That's just where they was raised, so they just comfortable living there. They be done had a big nice ass house in the hood that they done paid for that motherfucker. They own the goddamn house. They got money. They just choosing to live in the hood. That don't mean you poor because you live in the hood. That don't mean you downtrodden because you live in the hood. That don't mean you had to sell drugs because you live in the hood. You could have went and got a job at the neighborhood, at the local warehouse where everybody else is working. Or the Amazon or the whatever the fuck. The FedEx or the McDonald's or the whatever. The same job everybody else in the hood was going to. You could have went to that motherfucker. You chose to be on the block selling drugs or selling hoes or whatever the fuck you was selling. You chose to do that. Ain't nobody. You didn't do that because you was just you had to survive and you ain't had no food and you had quit lying, bro. Cause you ain't had no food. Your mama had food stamps. That silly ass lying ass nigga. If your mama had food stamps, more than likely you had more food than the average motherfucker. Average people don't be buying as much groceries as you get on food stamps. They don't buy that much groceries like that. The average person that spend money on groceries don't spend as much money as you get on the food stamp card. So if you had food stamps, 9 times out of 10, you was eating better than the motherfuckers that didn't have food stamps. That's another thing too. If you was in the hood and all that, you probably had food stamps. The people in the suburbs probably didn't. So you had a whole food card where you can go to the grocery store and get free food. You know what I'm saying? The people in the suburb, the mama in the suburb had her kids in the suburb. She ain't had that. She had to buy the food out of her check. So she probably had less money than the hood mama. Because she had to spend her money on food and different shit that the hood mama didn't have to spend her money on. So nah, that's a facade, bro. That ain't real. That whole I'm from the hood, so I had to fucking be a drug dealer. I had to be a pimp. I had to rob. I had to do this. All a lie, bro. That's a lie. And even okay, I'll give you one. I'll even give you one and say that you had to do it initially. You had to rob a nigga because you ain't had nothing. Your daddy was smoking crack. Your mama was smoking crack. And it was just the day came when you ain't had nothing. There wasn't no food in the refrigerator. It wasn't nothing. So initially you did have to go and fucking steal some shit. Or fucking go and rob somebody. You felt like you had to do that because there was no other way you wasn't gonna even eat that night. You had to go in Walmart and steal the fucking some shit. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Initially, okay, initially, that initial jump off the porch. You initially had to do some wild shit. You just had no food that day. You you should did like I used to do. When I remember when I first got in the army and I wasn't making that much money and all that. I had a family. I had a child. I had a wife and a child. You know what I'm saying? I had to take care of them. You know what I used to do when we ain't had no money and shit? I would go in the grocery store and steal out the grocery store. Straight up. If I knew they had already ate, sometime whatever food we did have, I make sure they ate. But then if I hadn't ate, I would go in the grocery store and just eat the shit while I was in I'd be in there eating the shit in the store. That way I ain't technically am I stealing it? I didn't take it out the store. That's how I used to think that's how I used to think. I'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna walk around the store eating the shit in here. I pick up a bag of chips, a sandwich, or whatever, and just eat. I be walking around the store just eating the shit while I'm walking around the store. You know what I'm saying? And I think the people that would see me eating, I think they would think that I was eating like a sample or something, or some you know how they had the samples in there. I think they would think that I'm eating a sample or something. I don't know what they thought. But nobody would ever say nothing to me. I never got in trouble for it, nothing. I would eat the shit, pick up some shit, eat it, and put the packaging right back on the shelf or something. Pick up a sandwich, pick up a, you know, it be some shit that's already made though. Not nothing I wouldn't make a sandwich. But if they had a little prepackaged sandwich or whatever, I just pick that shit up, open it up, eat it, be walking around the stove till I'm done. Eat it and eat till I get full. Open up a bag of chips, eat that. You know what I'm saying? I never got in trouble for it. Ever. Never got caught. Nobody ever even said nothing. I never even had nobody even come up to me and say, hey man, what are you doing? You eating the food in the store? I never had any type of problem with that. So I feel like if you was just that poor, you could have done that. If you was just that poor to where you just, you know what I'm saying, you didn't have nothing. You could just went in the grocery store and just walked around the store eating shit. You know what I'm saying? Till you was full. That's what I used to do. I done that I hit that play on several different occasions. And then here's the thing. I be poor now. It be times now where I don't be having money. Where I been done paid a bill or something. Or, you know, just had to pay. You be done had money, but you been had to spend it paying bills or something. So you be poor, you be back down there to zero damn near. It be times like that. And I don't look at it like, okay, since I'm in this situation where I'm down to zero damn near, I need to go do some crime to get back on. I don't be looking at it like that. I just, you know what I'm saying? I'll fuck around and just, just wait till some more money come around or try to figure out another way to make money or, something. It ain't never to the point where you have to do crime. That's a lie, bro. People are lying when they say that. Like I say, I'll give you that initial. You a child, you ain't got no food in the refrigerator. I'll give you that initial. You got to do some shit. But that's only a short, a brief thing. You just steady doing crime, talking about you had to do it because you was poor. That's a lie, bro. You lying. You could have got a job like the next motherfucker. You could have went to fucking Amazon. Amazon hire anybody, goddamn body. You could have got a job at Amazon. You could have got a job at fucking Walmart. You could have got a job at Six Flags. You could have got a job, bro. You chose to goddamn me be in the streets doing what you was doing. That's a fact. And it don't matter if you was from the hood or the suburbs, you still chose to do whatever the fuck you was doing. Facts. This Amadi Media. I'm out. Bitch ass nigga.